I advocate with the Zeitgeist Movement because really when it comes down to it, what else can I do? I went shopping around for nonprofit and activist help organizations, and I found that they all address problems. While there are so many, they all address problems in a piecemeal fashion, and I wasn't interested in just solving one problem, and then many of the organizations are focused, at least some of their resources, on just getting more funding, and it's a continual problem of funding, and then when the funding runs out, they're out of business, and so then they can no longer provide that help. So when I came across the Zeitgeist Movement, I realized, wow, this is an organization that really understands what the root problems are, and it addresses it in a holistic fashion, and that really resonated with me, and it really connected the dots for me, because I always tended to look at things from more of a psychological perspective, but in the films it makes it very clear that the social pressures essentially force people into behaviors that wouldn't naturally arise because of they have to basically lie, cheat, and steal to get the money to survive, and money is an invented scarce resource, so everybody's fighting each other for that money. That's one point. The other thing is that how can you live in society and not notice all these problems? I mean, every day you turn on the radio or any news report or your friends and family, they're always bringing up problems that relate back to this scarcity system of money. And you can't, some people, they try and they attempt to wall themselves off from the rest of the world just as long as they get their daily amusements, but in the end there's a word for that. It's isolation, and isolation leads to sorrow. So I don't think that people can be really well adjusted and happy if they have to continually engage in those kinds of behaviors to make sure that they stay sane in this kind of world. So I feel like this is the right venue for me to express that and to encourage change in our society. We tell kids from a young age that they should follow their dreams or their passions, but really what we mean by that is follow them as long as they lead to money, and those things are often in conflict with each other, and in the resource-based economy that's proposed, those things wouldn't be in conflict anymore. People could make their contribution, and it could be a gigantic contribution that they wouldn't be able to make in another system, in this system in particular. And a final note about moving forward, a great film. In the beginning, there's the part about how social and physiological pressures while in utero can affect the development of the brain, and that can lead to aberrant behaviors and dangerous behaviors to both the person themselves or to society at large. And I just wanted to point out that there's one other thing to keep in mind, and that is the plasticity of a brain. It may be true that in some cases it's beyond repair, but I think most people can be healed of those wounds or those problems. It may take some time and it may take some work, but we can get there, and that's really what the Zeitgeist Movement is all about. It's about healing those wounds in society and providing another way to organize. And I just hope that we can use that example from brain research and apply it to our society and move it forward. And then we can all have more well-being, happiness, and our contributions will be meaningful not only to us but to society at large. And that's why I'm involved.